Hi guys, I swear you not, this is the very best chicken house I've built. I know, you're thinking to yourself, that's what I say about each and every chicken house. But in all honesty, each and every chicken house that I build, I try to make sure that I make it better than the previous house. So if you're looking at my chicken houses right now, you'll be thinking to yourself, what the hell, they all look the same. This is the chicken house that I've just built. There, in the background, that was the first chicken house I built, and that is the second chicken house I built. This is the third, and in all honesty, they all look the same. But each and every one of them is marginally better. I think this one is significantly better than the very first one, considering the changes go on happening slowly and slowly. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys around the house. I'm going to be showing you the things that I believe actually make it the best chicken house that I've built, and the things that I believe you could utilize to adapt to make the chicken house better, even in your circumstances or depending on where you are. So stick around throughout the video and I'm going to be showing you around. So first, we'll start with the general outlook of the house. You can see it. Meanwhile, before we go into the house, you can see we've been making laying boxes because the birds are supposed to move in here very, very soon. Recently, they just made 16 weeks, and just yesterday we were vaccinating them for their second dose of fall typhoid. So if you compare them to the other houses, they look exactly the same. Look at it, exactly the same. Again, the size is 20 meters in length by 8 meters in width. Just today, we've been fitting the doors. Let's move over to the doors. So just today, we've been fitting the doors right here. We just confirm that it locks properly. Yeah, perfect. They haven't yet placed a hole right there for it to move in, but yeah, it looks well. So this is just one of the doors, and another of the doors at the top floor. So you can see the way we built it. Let's get inside and I'll show you guys. Right here, we're supposed to be building a foot deep, which we haven't yet built, but this is going to be the next work. This is quick and easy, easy peasy. And then this is the bottom floor. As you can see, we already have wood shelvings inside ready for the birds to move in, and we've already done the plumbing, as you can see. So we've already done some plumbing work. We're just waiting to connect the feeders and the drinkers. You can see the feeders here. So this time I'm using another type of feeders because the red type of feeders that I usually use I couldn't find on the market. The person who supplies them to me didn't have them, so I couldn't find them. So today we're just going to choose this type. The drinkers, I still do have my awesome type of drinkers. So you can see this is the top of the house. This is the side of the house. Very beautifully built. So you can see that we have chain link on the side of the house and then chicken wire on the outside. I wish I could get better chicken wire. Unfortunately, I have to use this kind of chicken wire, which is not the very best, but yeah. Then at the bottom, we have an iron sheet. This would be best seen from outside, which is built onto the wall, and we plastered it all around, we built it with cement at the bottom. So again, right here, you can see our chicken wire very beautifully together with the chain link. So the bottom is about 3 feet and the top is about 4 feet. So we have quite an amount of aeration. Now, depending on where your farm is located, you might actually want to make this a bit more. When we are on the breeder farm, the temperatures over there are generally way hotter than it is right here. The way I am right now, the temperatures usually average about 26 degrees Celsius. Where the breeder farm is, it can go as high as 30 something in terms of temperature. So we need more aeration. So for me right here, the temperature is not a very big issue. So just in case you're wondering the height, the bottom floor is 7 feet and the top floor is about 8 feet, just a little bit taller, but that's perfect. 7 feet on the sides is usually good enough. 7 feet, so 3 feet and 4 feet for aeration. Now when we look inside on the structure, you can see the poles that we used to support the structure. These are much bigger than the very first ones we used for the very first house. Much bigger, so that means this is a stronger house. Way stronger, way stronger, and I love that. Very beautiful. So this is a trick I learned with time, that it makes the houses way stronger using stronger poles. And then at the very top, this is what supports the top floor. You can see the poles running over there. I know I've shared this a lot on the channel, but it could help someone. So we have about 9 lines going that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The thing 10, going that way, and each one of them, as you can see, has a second pole. So you might be wondering why I have 2 poles. One of these poles, this one, is what goes right through and supports the roof. This second one supports the top floor. So we make sure that they are always 2 put together. What we used to do in the past is that we didn't have a second pole. So since this is what is supporting the top floor, this would be hammered into this pole using a nail. So just imagine, literally what would happen is that the entire top floor would be supported by a nail, simply a nail inside here, which of course didn't make sense. So we decided to literally put another pole coming from the bottom. So as you can see, we have multiple poles, just like this one. At every point, multiple poles, and the purpose of these poles is to make sure we're not using nails to connect this pole, which is literally this top floor is seated on, to hit it into this. So all the weight sits on poles. So that's a very ingenious way that we came up with it. I haven't seen a lot of people doing it. I came up with it, and I hope you guys will replicate it over on your farms. Over here, they didn't do it well. As you can see, the pole is literally not standing on top of this, which is not a good idea. Some of the weight is on the side, and so it's defeating the purpose of why this was created. But yeah, that's it. And right here, you can see that there is a space right here at the top, which is not a good thing. So we need to make sure that we get a piece of wood that we place here so that the weight of this also sits on that piece of wood. So that there is very little tendency of this pole right here to bend. And after these poles have run, I mean, you can see one at the beginning there, another one running like this, and then this one also running, and then all of them running. Then we have these smaller pieces of timber running on top. They are not pieces of timber, they are poles, and on top of that, our timber does sit. So this is a very ingenious way of supporting the structure. Like I said, you can see that we already have our wood shavings inside. This is plywood inside here that we are utilizing to make the chicken boxes. I think the guys need to bring them in, yeah, the chicken boxes. Let's move to the top floor so I show you guys what it is like at the top. Okay, so this is a ramp. I always advise people to use ramps and not stairways. Very important, yeah, because with a stairway, if you miss a step, someone is coming from up there, they are carrying eggs, they miss a step, you're going to fall down with your eggs. With a ramp, there's no steps to miss. So I always advise people to use ramps. Look at it. It's a beautiful ramp, yeah? Always better than using a stairway. And then we get to the top. This is the top, guys. I mean, whoo! This feels really strong. I mean, I'm trying to jump right here. You can see it. So this is plywood. So of course, in trying to put the timber together, it doesn't really come together. So we use pieces of plywood, as you can see, that are cut into smaller pieces to make sure that we block the spaces in between. That way the litter doesn't fall down. Same thing with the edges and the corners that way to minimize the litter falling down, and that would cause us issues. But as you can see at the top here, we haven't put litter. We're going to be getting some litter and we place it at the top, and it's the same exact story. So we have 3 feet, then 4 feet. I think the 4 feet stops around here, and then we have about 1 foot at the top. So we have about 8 feet for the top floor. And as you can see, it's all, you know, an iron sheeting building. Very comfortable. Look at all the space. I mean, it just feels lovely to be inside here. And as you can see, the plumbing has also been done. We're just waiting to connect the feeders and the drinkers right here at the top. And honestly, this was cheap in comparison to how much I would have had to spend to build a structure like this using brick, using things like that. It would have been a lot and a lot of money. Of course, what you're going to say is that this stays for a much shorter time. But, well, it should spend at least 15 to 20 years. Yeah? I'm certain this will stay at least 15 years. And with 15 years of earning money, if I want to continue farming, then I should be able to, you know, construct another house, a better house, or maybe do the same exact thing that will take me another 15 years, till, you know, another 30 years. That way, I'm not spending too much money on a structure which the chickens don't care. All they need is to make sure that the conditions for them are perfect. And what is that? Making sure that there is enough aeration, making sure that animals do not come in, making sure that there is enough litter inside the house, making sure that there is enough space inside the house, making sure that the birds have been given food. That's all they care about. Everything else, they really don't care. And my goal is to ensure that I offer them exactly what they need. So that is what I have done, guys, to try and construct this chicken house. It is much, much cheaper than what it would have cost me if I used other materials. So tell me if you want to know the exact cost of this house. I mean, I've shared the cost of one of those other houses. It should be close to the same. I can share with you guys how much exactly it cost to build this house, because like I've told you, this was a bit firmer, this was a bit stronger. It certainly cost a little bit more, but I can share that with you, break it down if you want it. So if you want it, let me know in the comment section below so that I can share this information with you. And so the only thing left with this house, the only major thing, is placing a tank like this. So we're going to need a tank exactly like this to be placed somewhere around here so that it can take the water to the house. And one thing that I always tell people, I'd probably forgotten to tell you about this, is this overhang. You see this overhang? It's very important. I see people building houses and they forget to put this overhang. It's very important. It ensures that rainwater does not enter the chicken house. If rainwater enters the chicken house, it exposes your chicken house to a disease called coccidiosis. So you want to minimize that. You can see over here that we have a huge overhang to ensure water doesn't enter, and same thing with the lower point here. We have an overhang, you can see it, to make sure that rainwater does not go in. So if you're constructing a house, you want to make sure that you place that. So we're going to be building a tank just like this that will supply this chicken house, and another one that will later be constructed right here, so that we have our 4 chicken houses. Here we have birds. The flock inside there is quite old. And then right here, this is a water tank that we had built a while back. This is my water tank, and it harvests water from this chicken house. I want to construct others, you know, place another water tank right here for that house, another one for this house. And what we're going to be doing is that we are cutting this tree. If you can see, there's someone with an axe right there. He's cutting the tree, and the whole goal of cutting the tree is because the leaves from the top usually fall inside the tank, the other side. And so we don't want the tree right here. So we are cutting it down. I have a lot of trees planted. I mean, I just planted about 200 trees recently. So trees are not an issue. We can cut this down. It's causing more harm than good. And then we're going to connect a pump that will be able to pump water into this tank, so that we also utilize the rainwater and we don't just waste it. So guys, tell me what you think, if you actually love what's happening around on the farm. I think I do love it. It's beautiful, great work going on, and I think we're going to be doing great things. I mean, great things very soon. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash the notification bell, and let me know if you want me to make a video. I'll only make that video based on your recommendations. If you don't want it, I won't make it. For the cost of constructing this house, don't forget to subscribe. Lots of love. Bye-bye.